channel. My name is David Delar and I like to teach folk blues and acoustic music. I am available for one-to-one Zoom lessons as well as group guitar lessons via my website. Please check out the links wherever you can see them and click on them. We're going to be looking at a strumming pattern, actually 3 different strumming patterns. And this is a type of strumming pattern but it's really useful for folk music, Americana, bluegrass, that sort of thing. And we're going to kick off straight away with a G major chord. You can think of that in any way you like. With the second finger, first and third, or with the third, second and fourth. I'm going to probably use this, third, second and fourth. We're going to basically pick up the bass notes of the chord. The chord is made from G, B and D. That is the root, third and fifth of a G major scale. That means it is the first note, the third note, and the fifth note played at the same time. Yeah, and so we're going to pick out essentially an arpeggio. Followed by a strum. So we're going to go for the low E string, and then we're going to strum from the G string downwards. Yeah, so we're going to go E string, A string, D string, A string. These are the notes G, B, and D. And this is what I like to think of as sort of bluegrass or Americana strum style, level 1. It's very simple, it's all downstrokes. It's all just about trying to find a good, consistent tone while playing those bass notes. If you want to kind of beef it up and make that into level 2, then we can start doing a strum up. So we can play the same thing, and this time a light strum upwards. So we're not strumming all the strings, we're not strumming in a big and aggressive style at all. It's very light, it's literally just maybe 1 or 2 strings. So we're going to go same thing, the E and the strum, the A string and the strum and the D strum. But this time the strum is followed by a strum up. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. So notice the downstroke is stronger than the upstroke, yeah? That's what I call level 2. Yeah, let's compare that to level 1, where it's just the single downstroke. And then to level 2. Obviously, you can mix those up, so you could do a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a, in any way you like. Level 3 would be introducing an arpeggio. So we do a pluck strum, and then just with this single striking of the string, we're going to hit the A string on a downstroke, a D string on the upstroke, and then a strum. So it sounds like this. Yeah. So that is the E string, which is note G, a strum, and then going down to the A string, which is playing the note B, and then an upstroke on the D string, and then a strum at the end there. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah. When you have that mastered, you might want to add a strum up after each of those. So we go 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, chords, level 3. Now we can make use of these simple chords. These are the guitar chords: C, G, E, A, and D. Now these are all in the open position, i.e. they use open strings, and they are pretty much every standard sort of guitar related song uses these chords. So what is a good idea is to find some color tones, some notes outside of the typical chord that might color your music a little nicer. So if you think about that G major, a color tone might be the 6th note in the scale: G, A, B, C, D, E. That note E has a particular characteristic. So when you hear that played in the chord, it adds a little something, doesn't it? It adds a little texture, a little flavour of something else, which can be quite satisfying as a listener. So every chord that you learn in these open positions, try to find the 6th note in that scale. So for instance, that can be found on the 2nd fret of the D string for this chord. And that's G6. So we can go G, B, and then go to the E. That's the 2nd fret D string, and I'm fingering that with my 2nd finger. And then letting go to D, which is the 5th. So you go root, 3rd, 6th, 5th. And you can do that with level 2 strumming. The arpeggio. Adds something to the sound of that G major chord, which is quite exciting, and it's worth trying to find that in all of the places, on all the chords. So, for instance, when we look at the C major, what is the 6th degree of a C major scale? C, D, E, F, G, A. C, D, E, F, G, A. 6th there. So if we can find that note, that's on the 2nd fret G string, then we can pluck it out in our chords. So we go C, for instance, we can fret that with our 2nd finger. So I'm playing the A string this time as our root is C, our 3rd is the E, that's on the D string 2nd fret, then that 2nd finger drops down to the 2nd fret G string, and then open G string. And we have the same sound, don't we? And we can find that on the D chord, so we can play the D chord. What is the 6th degree of a D major scale? That would be the B, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Yeah, so that note B can be found in the D chord on the 4th fret of the G string. So we can play the D, and then we go to the G string 2nd fret, which is actually the 5th, which is the A, and then that little pinky can come across to play the note B on the 4th fret G string, and then back down to that 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And as you can already tell, it also lends itself to hammering on to these notes. So for instance, when we go back to that G chord, because we're picking out the string, we can play with the sound of that and hammer onto these notes. Yeah, that's it. Explore that.